Yeah. Now, this is a very interesting question that I'm going to ask.
Folks. I am glad to be here. Hope
Is
you
this
are
for
too.
you
I want to
ministry,
cover this. I
or is
promised
it
I would do this
purely
last
journalism,
Friday,
the work that you
and
do?
we had storms
It's a mix of
across the
both.
internet, and
Yeah.
I think I cannot
Now,
separate it.
make sure.
this is a very interesting question
First,
that
I'm a
I'm going to
journalist
ask.
Folks, I am
who
glad
is
to
a
be here.
Christian.
Hope
Is
you
this
are
for
I'm not a
too.
you
Christian
I want to
journalist.
ministry,
cover this. I
or
promised
is
So
it
I would do
I don't
this
want to
purely
be called a
last
Christian
journalism,
Friday.
journalist.
the work that you
And
do?
we had
You know,
storms
I'm a journalist,
It's
a mix of
across
both.
the internet, and
Yeah.
I think
Because
I
now,
mean, you would not see somebody and then you
this is
call
a
them
very interesting question that
first
I
I'm a
am going to ask.
journalist. No,
I'm
he's a doctor.
Is this for
I'm not a
you
Christian journalist.
ministry,
It's a
or
simple.
is
So
it
I don't want to be
purely
called a Christian
journalism,
journalist. The
the
problem
work
is
that you do?
we separated the two. I'm a journalist, a mix of both.
and this is.
Yeah.
I think I mean, you would not see somebody came across.
This is a very interesting
God
question.
created
First, I'm
everything.
just
God's idea, so we cannot
Is
separate.
this for
I'm not a
you
Christian. You don't
ministry,
have to be.
or is it
I don't want to be
purely
called
journalism,
The problem
the work
is
that you do?
we separated the two. I'm a journalist, a mix of both. I think I can. I mean, you would not see somebody came across. So whatever you created, first I'm just God's idea, so we cannot separate. I'm not. I just found myself being a journalist, and then because I'm a Christian, my Christian values, my Christian principles begins to show, and I began to ask questions about areas where it's not showing around the church, outside of the church. You know, I begin to investigate, I begin to ask questions, I begin to expose certain things and say, look, maybe we can do these things better and all that. So being a Christian for me, who is a journalist, there's just no way I'm not gonna see the importance of truth and speak about truth.
Yeah. Now, I know that your work has put a lot of pressure on you personally, and perhaps your family, because you've received death threats and intimidation from pastors. Mentioned. And now, how did you get here? How did we get to? And you know what? I interviewed another pastor the other day, and he mentioned that all these shenanigans that are happening in the church now, they're not new.
Right.
Going as far back as 19 Duran, people were misled, and there was always been fake miracles and whatnot. Now my question is, if we are of Christ, and we want to be like Christ and want to rule in glory with Christ in heaven, how did we get here? How did we get to where the untruth in some instances surpasses the truth? I think there's dogmas that doctrines in the church that are ungodly. You understand? A total lies. Total. Now my question is, how did we get here?
I was actually in court yesterday, just to let you know. Someone took me to court yesterday. How did we get here? I think we got here based on just different reasons. We're beginning to see a lot of human philosophy, ideologies, and human wisdom in operation. In Africa, we're beginning to see the invasion of the church and the pulpit by magicians, by witch doctors, witchcraft, all in the name of trying to perform the supernatural. And on the flip side, obviously, you have the ones who are bringing all these doctrines, like you mentioned, and all these theologies that are totally false. But then on the flip side, you also have the congregation, the sheep, that is looking for the supernatural, the sheep who is hopeless and they're looking for hope, the sheep who is in poverty, they want to get out of poverty, the sick who is sick and they want to get healed, the sheep who is greedy and wants to grab, the sheep who is blind and they are looking for the light. So you have a very great combo for us to see the explosion of what we see today that are making front pages and headlines in the media. So we have an operation where the shepherd, so-called shepherd, charlatans and fake prophets, false prophets, they created a product based on the need that the client, the buyer has. So they created different sort of products, from false prophecy to water, holy water, miracle water, anointing water, to photos, to bracelets, to pictures, stickers,
To
because
brooms.
robes.
Yeah, I saw some other guy here on the socials. He's actually selling a broom, an anointed sweeping broom.
Yeah.
And anyway, sorry to interrupt.
You can sell anything. You can create any product, as long as the buyer, the sheep, who has gone astray. So Jesus gave the parable of the 100 sheep, and one went astray. The shepherd left the 99 and went after the one. But this guy's case, that's not it. They don't care about the one. They care about the 99 that is there, that they have captured. Not through the Spirit of Jesus, but because they're going to make money. So it's become a business. And a lot of people a lot of prophets and charlatans, fake prophets, they've seen this as a business. So now you commercialize Christianity. And on the flip side, you get people who are now going back to the way that we used to go to a sangoma or a witch doctor or nyanga to get something, to give something, and then you get something. They always give you instructions, isn't it? Something to use, something to put here, something to put there. So this false prophet and charlatans, they just duplicated what the sangomas and nyanga does, and then they brought it into the church. They can even tell you, no, we can even, your enemy, we pray for your enemy to die. I mean, where on earth did you get that as a Christian?
Yeah. Very interesting stuff. So let's take a quick break once more. And when we come back, I'm going to tell you a story, right? Mm-hmm. And then I want to hear your thoughts about it. So yeah, see you after the break.
Hi there, this is Samohanguna. Catch me every day just after 3 p.m. for Voca Sports Hour, where we speak everything sports only on vocaonlineradio.co.za. See you there. Please see you there.
You're listening to Voca Online. Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
With Mr. Solomon Izang Ashops. And one day I promise I will pronounce your name correctly, and hopefully I'll be ordained as a South Syrian as well.
You're getting there. We will adopt you.
Brother Solomon, I went to a discussion with my old man, Dr. Agrippa Katide, by the way, and he's here sitting next to me. So he's listening. Yeah.
That's good. You must tell him there was a time he asked me to follow him to Polokwane. He was speaking there, and I drove. That was my first time in Polokwane. I drove, and I used to run a magazine, and he said, "No, come with me. I'm speaking there, so you can promote and market your magazine." So I had that memories with him.
He's here smiling. Anyway, so we went to this discussion, right? And this journalist said something. He said central to and I know that the topic is the importance of truth, but you cannot, in the context of the church, you cannot separate the lack of truth and false prophets. Those two go hand in hand.
Yes, very much.
So this guy said to me, not to me per se, but to everybody that was there, he said central to the false prophet, that whole movement, is the media. So the media creates, they sit and apparently they concoct this whole thing where they create this persona who is of God, who is very wealthy, who has made money in Forex and Bitcoin and all this jazz, who has multiple properties, and who's a millionaire. So online, you see this persona who is the epitome of God's blessing. But in reality, you find out this guy has got 5,000 rand in his bank account. So he's, you understand? So how true is that? How true that the media is complicit in creating these fake prophets, these charlatans, however you want to call them?
Yeah, the media has a role to play, but unfortunately, the media has evolved where instead of being the custodians of truth and the protectors of truth, they have become creators of truth. So they create their own truth. So it's a different thing, you know. So once you create your own truth, you just move into the zone of danger. You just moved into the zone of not really caring for the people, for your readers, for your viewers anymore. All you care about now is you care about profit. You care about numbers, viewership, right? So the role of the media is very critical. But the fact is, who are the people that control the media? Who is the producer? What knowledge of truth does the producer have? What knowledge of truth does the director have? So if they don't have much knowledge of truth, I shouldn't expect them to produce something that is truthful. I shouldn't expect them to be able to vet and evaluate a certain charlatan and false prophet that wants to package himself, you know, nicely and look all expensive and in front of like Rolls Royce. What you just described there is a con man. That's just it. He's a con man. So technically, this is not a prophet. He's not a pastor. He's a con man. And the media would help you project that. We're moving from the area, from the move, you know, the last 20 years or so, we've had this prosperity gospel moving on. Now we're moving away from it. We're moving to a place of the gospel of influence, where the gospel of people want to like me. That's why we have the cancel culture growing and all that, because people need to like me. The more likes that I have, if I can just wake up and just do something easily and just people will like me, that's where we're moving to now. So we have people who have created, who are beginning to deal with the Christian faith as a product. And the media has helped these people. The media, you don't want to know how the media has helped like some of these charlatans, some fake prophets to just escalate their influence. These are con men, you know.
They get paid. They get paid a lot of money. These journalists.
Yes, they get paid. One of them the other day, he works for one of the Sunday newspapers, and I had to tell him straight up, you are getting paid by, he went and wrote stuff about me, and I tried to correct him, and he wasn't trying to listen because obviously he was paid to do that, And I told him, look, you cannot just do that. You are being paid. You have totally disregarded the role of a journalist, and it's a shame that you are unethical. You cannot continue to do that. And these charlatans and fake prophets, they know how to take lots of money and invest it in there. They know, because they know it's about profit. They know that in 6 months' time, they're going to get far much more and beyond that. So the media has a role to play, but who are the people in the media? Maybe we need to get a lot more Christians who can go in there and have the truth, biblical truth. That's the only way for us to change it. We cannot say, let's create an alternative Christian media. That's an error. I don't want to think about, okay, this is Christian media and that is non-Christian media. I don't believe in that. I believe media is media because the media in itself, the conception of media was for good intention, was to protect truth, was to make sure the voiceless have a voice. So maybe we need to send our people into some sort of mainstream media instead of just staying around so-called Christian media without really getting involved in them.
Yeah. Now, I've noticed that a lot of people who are against the truth that you expose, the first form of attack towards you is to be xenophobic.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I've read some vile stuff written.
Sometimes I was like, God, but why did you even make me a Nigerian?
No, but you know what? Even if you came from Lesotho, you understand. Even if you're South African, you understand.
Yeah, you're gonna get that.
they will still throw vile stuff at you.
They will look for
Now,
something.
How do you handle that? I know we try and portray a unified front as Christians to other religions, and then when you exposed a story that involves their favorite, people have got favorite prophets now. So you expose their favorite prophet, and then people would spew vile stuff at you. How do you handle that? Because if it was me, I'm Zulu. I'd take a stick and find you and try and beat you.
You deal with it the Zulu way. I got a call the other day from someone who just started on YouTube, and they're posting stuff, and then they got hammered. They got attacked and all that. So they called me. It's like, Solomon, I wanted to delete and block these people. I blocked them. I did that. How do you handle this thing? I was like, but you just started. See it as you are a doctor, and then the person attacking you is the patient. They're the ones that need help. You're not the one that need help.
Nice.
You are the helper. So that's the way that I look at it. I'm Nigerian. I'm proud to be Nigerian. Every bit about me is Nigerian. I love South Africa. I've had many opportunities to move to Europe, but I was like, no, I'm African. I want to stay here and just be here in Africa. This is where God has called me. I believe anybody that gets xenophobic, they have a problem because they've moved from the issue and now they are beginning to attack the person. It's okay to attack the issue, what Solomon said, but don't attack Solomon. Attack what he said. So the moment I see people attacking me and not what I said, I know where to place them. And I saw one post where an apostle, I think they sent you an inbox and you reposted it on your wall. Yeah. This guy went on a tirade using the F word. Yes.
Now,
I
was in shock. And then I went and checked this guy's profile. He's a hey, man of God.
He's a top dog. Yeah.
He's a top dog. I called him a Christian influencer. He's a Christian influencer. Yeah. But he was using the F word extensively against you. Yeah. And and what you posted was the truth. It was simply a fact that is truthful.
But is the truth that he was trying, like you said, he was trying to be defensive.
Yeah.
Right? But he didn't want to do it publicly. So the truth about him was revealed in my inbox. Kind of stuff. I don't cover this kind of stuff. People say, Solomon, you're dividing the church. You're divisive. You're not unifying the church. For you to be able to be united, there needs to be a lot of division first, because division brings unity. That's what people don't understand, except you don't want to. Look at every great nation. Look at every great church, every great business. There's always going to be different views and all that. But if you all tilt towards the place of truth, then you can be united. So if you are telling me that unity means that I keep quiet for the pain of a girl who has been raped and the pastor is not taking responsibility, I don't like that kind of unity. If you're telling me unity means that I just be quiet and not expose a pastor or prophet who has taken millions from people, I don't like that kind of unity. That's not my biblical unity. I'm sorry. That's not unity. So you need to be able to talk about this, but they don't want to be. When you expose that, the character of those false prophets and charlatans begins to come out, just like this guy through my inbox.
Okay, quick break, and then we will conclude. Quick break. This is hot stuff. This is this is biblical hot stuff. See you in a bit.
If you're enjoying this interruption and find the sound of my voice captivating, you may be experiencing extreme boredom. Try new, fast-acting Subaru Impreza in hatch or sedan, formulated with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Cure boredom fast with new Impreza.
Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
Unshackled Online. Hello, Makawe Katili again, PK Unshackled. Today we're chilling with Ubaba Solomon Izang Ashoms, and the topic is the importance is too far in terms of your work.
I don't know, to be honest with you, because every time I think I've gotten to a place where sometimes I just try to do what I feel the Spirit of God is telling me to do. And I have talked about stuff that was very uncomfortable for me. That if I had the choice, I wouldn't talk about it. But because I feel the Holy Spirit said to talk about it, I had to talk about it. So how far is too far? I don't know. And do I make mistakes? I do make mistakes, and sometimes when I make mistakes, I actually try to apologize, sometimes publicly, and say, look, I'm sorry I use these words and all. That's why you see, for me, I don't use words like stupid, like foolish, all those kind of words, because I value people. And how far is too far? I really don't know. I think it's based on every context. Every context.
Okay, let me ask you this story. Let me ask you this question. Are there stories that you are suppressing now, and if you had to expose them, the church would flip upside down?
Yes, there is one story that I'm actually suppressing now, not because I want the story to go away, but because I'm giving the so-called perpetrator the opportunity to come clean.
Oh, okay.
Now to come clean, but they are not coming clean. So from the look of things, I'm actually gonna put the story out there very soon, because the victim is ready to tell her story. And it's going to create a lot of enemies for me. It's going to create a lot of backlash, like never before. But at the same time, for me, it's going to tell and show people that a man of God is just a man. Yeah. He can make mistakes, he can fall, he can do things that you would never imagine. And you just have to.
Last question. Now, what would Jesus do with the body of work that you have? So if Jesus was in your position, what would he be doing with all the technology and all the accessibility that you have? So let's flip it. Let's say Jesus was in your shoes. What would he be doing with the work that you have?
Hey, I think Jesus would be exposing so many people. He would expose what I he would be doing a lot of counseling. I'm not a professional counselor, I can only do a little bit of it. He'll be doing a lot of counseling, and he'll be engaging a lot in a lot of other issues, not just church issues, but political issues and entertainment issues, sports issues, which is something that I want to do too. But because people put me in the box, they think I'm just talking about church stuff and all that. But I'm a journalist. I'm not a Christian journalist, so I'm not cut up to just talk about church stuff. Jesus would use that platform to emphasize the truth radically, like he did in the Gospels, to emphasize the importance of truth radically in a way that is going to be annoying, in the way that is going to provoke and make a lot of people angrier, much more than I'm making people angry. Because the truth makes people angry. If the truth don't make you angry, then that's not the truth. The truth has made me, biblical truth has made me angry so much, because when you get angry with the truth, that's when you begin to change. And that's what Jesus desires for us.
Fantastic. Mr. Solomon Izang Ashoms, thank you for your time. That's all we have time for today. But hopefully, we'll invite you next time and talk about something else. I know you are full of information, And I, for one, I applaud the work that you do. I always say the victims, need a voice. The victims need, whether it be a rape case, whether it's fraud, whether it's scams.
Right.
The victims always need a voice. And thank you for your time.
It is time for Vuga Online News. Vuga Online.
Welcome to Vuga Online Radio News at this hour. Martin Moise, the widow of Haiti's assassinated President Jovenel Moise, returned to the Caribbean nation on Saturday for his funeral after she was treated in a Miami hospital for injuries sustained during the July 7 attack at their private residence. Jovenel Moise was shot dead when assassins armed